Trauma can feel someone feeling isolated, overwhelmed, or even unsure where to turn to for support. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to be a support system for somebody who may be battling trauma. And my number one is creating a safe space for this person. And what do I mean by creating a safe space? When we create a safe space, we understand that somebody who is dealing with trauma, they feel vulnerable, they feel emotionally or even physically unsafe. So for us, it's up to us to create that space for this person who is dealing with trauma to be able to know that they can be safe with us, that they can be able to trust us, that we can have empathy if they're dealing with the trauma, and they can come to us knowing that they're not going to be judged. So number one, just make sure that you create a safe space for that person, and do not be the Grinch. Okay. So number two is educating yourself about trauma. Different people that are dealing with trauma, they react different to traumas. You know, different people, it could be like they are traumatized from their childhood. It could be different things, you know, people who have gone through wars, people who have gone through, you name it, you know, you can fill the blank, you know, all the different traumas. And it's very, very, very important that if you have somebody that you know, a coworker, a friend, a family member that is dealing with trauma, don't just assume that you know what they are going through. It is very, very important that if you don't know what they're going through and how to support them, educate yourself so that you can be able to be that support that you're looking for without you always looking for them to educate you of what they're going through. Because what I've realized is if somebody is going through trauma and they have all these traumas within them, sometimes when we don't understand them and they have to keep explaining to us what they are going through, it can be so frustrating for them, and they feel like, you know what, why do I even have to share? Why can't you just maybe educate yourself? So that's my number two. Educate yourself. If you don't know what trauma is or what kind of trauma that the person is dealing with, just educate yourself, because also different people deal with different traumas differently. And also trauma affects, same trauma, two people can go through the same trauma, but it can affect different people different ways. So make sure that you are educating yourself about trauma. Number three is offering validation without judgment. When somebody is going through trauma, just make sure that you are validating them. Whatever they are going through, it's okay for us to be able to validate them without judgment. Because when we judge them, because most of the time things that we might say is how long is it going to take you to get over this? It's been this long. So and so went through the same trauma, but they're doing much better. You know, so when we say those things, and I've said this over and over again in these videos, that validation is key. When somebody is going through stuff, validation is key. And them knowing that they are being heard, we then give them a safe space, and then we also know that they have a support system that they have without us always feeling like we have to keep judging them. So just make sure that you are validating them without any judgment. And number four is respecting their boundaries. When somebody is traumatized, you know, they have fear of so many things, you know, depending on what kind of trauma they have gone through. So always, you know, respect their boundaries. If there is a place that they feel like they say they don't want to go, just respect that. If there is something that they don't want to talk about, some conversations that maybe triggers them, don't talk about it. If there is a person that they don't want to talk about or see, it's okay, because, you know, that's their boundaries and they protect themselves by avoiding these places. So always make sure that you are respecting their boundaries, because respecting their boundaries is very, very, very key. And don't question their boundaries. Don't ask, why can't you go to this and this and this place? You know, if they don't like clouds, or if they don't like watch certain things because it brings remembrance of their traumatic events, please just respect that, because when we do that, we are validating them. And my number 5 is being patient with them for their healing process. As I say it again, being patient, and don't rush them, because sometimes, you know, people can be dealing with trauma even from childhood, and they can even still be adults and they're still dealing with what happened when they were little kids, and us feeling like, you know, they should have healed from their childhood. It's really, it hurts them, because their traumas are true to them, and these traumas do affect them. So being patient is so key, and just support them throughout their journey. If you're there and if you're committed to supporting somebody who's dealing with trauma, just support them and let their journey be their journey. And remember, healing is not linear, and healing for different people is different. So and so might have gone through the same thing and they are healed and they feel better, but so and so might also have gone through a different thing or the same situation, but for them takes a longer time. So let's just be patient even as they heal, and be sure that you're still continuing to support them, because their healing process, it's gonna depend on how we support them. And number 6 is encouraging them to seek for professional help. You know, sometimes, you know, as a family, as a friend, as a coworker, you know, you might not even know what to do, or you might know, but there comes a time like you don't even exactly know how to help them. So it's always very important to encourage them to seek professional help, because, you know, when they see maybe a therapist, a counselor, these people are trained. You know, there is also maybe counselors or therapists that are trained to deal with traumas. So if you don't know what to do, just encourage them gently. You know, they might be resistant, but, you know, just gently encourage them to seek professional help, because if you are there for them, and maybe if they don't even know where to find professional help, just help them, you know, help them with their research, help them be able to look for this person who can be able to help them. And with that, you are that support. And as you can see, these are just little simple things that we can do as co-workers, as families, as friends, to help our loved ones, you know, who are dealing with trauma. Or let's say you're a mental health nurse like I am, you know, and you have a patient that is dealing with trauma. You know, just be able, you know, be empathetic, and just remember, you know, there's ways to support them without you judging them. And that's all that I have for today. And let me know, have you ever dealt with somebody who is dealing with trauma, and what were the steps, you know, that I didn't mention that you did to help them get over their trauma? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.